Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 94 of the Survival Series. The countdown continues to episode 100. So let's start off with some haikus and a limerick. From the Poetry Machine. Our haiku is, Haiku Gesundheit. Haikus for the entire day, to finish what you started. Okay. Our limerick is, I know a young fellow named Vin, whose pa made a fortune in pork. He was banned from the train, or was it just luck? Have all built their nests in my beard. Yeah, okay. See, this poetry machine is actually quite interesting. I kind of like this whole way to start the episode. Alright, today we're going to focus on this. Not necessarily the debug screen, specifically this right here, 4/3 FPS. What, I mean, I don't exactly have the most beefy computer in the world, but seriously, I have Optifine on. This is intolerable. So, it's about time that we destroyed as much of this lag as possible. I mean, for goodness sake, if I'm sleeping in my bed in the bedroom of the mansion, then as soon as I wake up, I'm met with the most hideous amount of lag in the world, to the point where it takes several minutes to actually sleep. And then, what is this? PowerPoint slideshow? 3/2 FPS. 2/1 FPS. That is ridiculous. It's about time we got rid of it. And I know just the way to do it. So, I've been doing some experiments on this world. Made a bunch of backups, and essentially did things one at a time. Destroyed, well, I have a few ideas on various culprits of this lag. For example, the animal farms. I have multiple animal farms. I also have a wool farm. I have multiple villagers. So, let me just real quick do a quick tour of the mansion. Possible culprits of the lag are the villager farm. There's not very many villagers, but villagers have so much to do that it lags out my game. So, that's one culprit. Culprit number 2, item frames. You see, I have item frames on my list of culprits because, well, in my adventure map series, I actually had an issue with item frames causing lag. And they caused quite a bit of lag. So, that is definitely a culprit. Culprit number 3. Animal farms. I have a pig farm here, I also have a sheep farm, and a cow farm, plus a chicken farm. I have a hunch the chicken farms is causing much more of the lag than any other farm. And we also have a wool farm that is blocked by the brick chimney. So, that is a major culprit. The other 2 culprits are chests and hoppers. Chests because they are tile entities, and tile entities are essentially entities, so they basically cause lag if you have hundreds of them, as I do in the bulk storage room. That would also explain why the screen jitters as I'm panning around the bulk storage room. The other culprit actually comes from watching Omengo's videos, and that's hoppers. Although I suspect that the chests are causing much more lag than the hoppers are. So, here are the scientific experiments that I did. First things first, I have the debug screen, which gives you this MS ticks, it gives you FPS, and lots of other things. Now, not only that, but I have Optifine installed, which means I can turn on the lagometer. So, check this out. The big red spikes are, I have no idea what those are, but big red spikes is bad. And over here on the left side, there's the big giant white bars. Those big giant white bars are also bad. So, it also gives you things like megabytes per second, MS minutes, TPS, MS average, MS max. It gives you all kinds of information. I'm not sure which part is good or bad, but I have a hunch big red spikes is bad. So, the goal is to remove some of those big red spikes. So after all of the experiments that I did, here are the results. In each of those experiments, I basically hovered above the mansion and looked straight down. So I would load the entire mansion plus the bulk storage room. If that would cause any lag, it would right there. So, with the current state of the survival series, I get an FPS 1 and 2 of 6 and 5, MS ticks 101, megabytes per second is 256, the MS min is 57, you get 73, 105, and I also took notes of what the lagometer looks like, which is red and lots of spikes. Very bad. So, there you go. That is, and I took the results for every single one of these. So, for example, when I removed every single hopper from the mansion, and that improved things a little bit. And then I removed all the animal farms, and that improved things even more. I removed all the villagers, and these are just individual things that I did. So in one backup, I removed every hopper. In a different backup, I only removed the animal farms. And what happened was, so it seems the biggest culprits are exactly what I thought they were. The animal farms and the villagers. The chests and hoppers really didn't removing the chests or hoppers really didn't improve it that much. I mean, it's a difference between an FPS of 8 and 9. It's really not that big of a difference. And then just for fun, I also removed all of the above. Every single hopper, every animal farm, every villager, every chest, all the wool farm, every item frame. And what happened was, the lagometer became somewhat manageable. It was orange and yellow. It was actually inside the box of the lagometer. So, with this in mind, the solution that we're going to implement this episode is this one. Removing the animal farms, the mansion villagers, and I'm also going to partially implement the item frame solution. I'm not going to remove every single item frame because that would be destroying the Hall of Fame and Hall of Shame. It would also destroy it would also remove quite a bit of information from what I actually need. So what I'm hoping to get is a lagometer that is red and orange, some spikes, and maybe somewhat hilly, and hopefully increase the FPS to something that is at least above 10. That is the goal. An FPS above 10 by the end of the episode. I think a good first step to removing the lag is actually removing these item frames in the bulk storage room. See, some of these groups are really not descriptive, and in fact there are some chests that contain multiple things at once, and therefore having just one item frame represent it all is kinda dumb. After all, I have a chest. This one is labeled with leather, but I have bookshelves, books, rabbit hide, and item frames and paintings because they're all leather based. So it's really not descriptive. It's even worse with things like seagrass, which has both seagrass and kelp inside. And the slabs is really bad, so is the stone bricks. So I think it'd be much better to instead use signs, because they are much more descriptive, and they will ultimately be better for the purposes of lag, because they are tile entities, and would therefore disappear if I unload the region. Item frames are not tile entities. It appears replacing all the item frames with signs did not necessarily improve the situation, but it does actually feel a little bit better, especially since now, with 1.14, you can actually dye signs, or at least dye the text on the signs. So let's just find the dyes. There we go. I'm thinking all the chests that have shulker boxes or automatic shulker box systems should be dyed magenta. And this way, it's crystal clear that this has automatic shulker box systems. So if, for example, I add slime balls, I can't just dump them into the I should be dumping them into the hopper, not into the chest. Bamboo has automatic shulker box systems. So do saddles, and also we have automatic shulker box systems for eggs, because seriously, this is a lot of eggs, and in fact this is one of the main causes of the lag, is the chicken farm is kind of broken. I don't know what's up with the Vindicators that are supposed to be running the chicken farm, but they're not doing their job. Okay, what in the world? I'm taking down this ore pillar because, well, that's what I do. That's how I take care of when I have massive amounts of ores. I pile them up like this. And I just got knocked off the pillar. From something. What is going on? How did I get knocked off this pillar? I'll be the first to admit this is not an ideal system. Having signs everywhere means that, well, I can't really tell that which chest over there can store magma blocks. Like, I can zoom in, which is really nice. Plus, I have the purple signs, which kind of which just pop out to show that, hey, over here are the commonly dispensed items, or the commonly thrown items. So this is good, and it also does decrease the lag a little bit. So, you know what? Every little bit helps. Next up is actually an improvement to the bulk storage room, not necessarily lag-based, and that actually has to do with this unstackable item sorter. So, I want to be able to sort out water bottles, potions, and shulker boxes directly out of the unstackable items. And everything else can go into the unsorted chest. So, let's make a functional unstackable item sorter, because the one I currently have is not very useful. Once again, scaffolding proves to be the block that I can never remove from my inventory ever. So, here we have a actually functional unstackable item sorter. So, any items that come through here, for example, say this torch, it's just going to go right through the hopper and do nothing. It's going to go into this set of chests over here. So, now this set of hoppers is actually for the unstackable items. This is where the unstackable items will go, at which point I'm going to sort out the potion-related things from, and also, what else? Shulker boxes from everything else. And then all the remaining unstackable items will go into this set of, the set of chests next to it. Next to the stackable unsorted items. So in this spiderweb of hoppers, we now have two different sorters for various unstackable items. So, first off, we can sort out shulker boxes from any other item because shulker boxes cannot go inside other shulker boxes. And the way this sorter is working, if I can actually walk around, is essentially giving the items a tiny little bit of time to actually go into the shulker box. If it gets into the shulker box, it continues along. Otherwise, it goes into the unstackable. Well, actually, if it is a shulker box, since it cannot go into the shulker box, whoops, dropped my crossbow in there. So if it is a shulker box, then it goes into this hopper stream right over there, and goes directly into the player head chest. I just dropped my piercing crossbow. That's not good. And if it is, so if it's not a shulker box, it'll go into the shulker box briefly, and then be pulled out by this hopper stream and go into this brewing stand. Now, if it is a water bottle or any kind of potion, it'll successfully go into one of these 3 slots of the brewing stand, at which point it gets sucked up by hoppers and taken to a chest specifically for water bottles and potions. That's that hopper stream right under there. If it's not a water bottle or anything that can go into a brewing stand, it'll just go into this silo here, which is the miscellaneous unstackable items. So there. That is the unstackable item sorters. So now we should be able to sort out more things than ever, and of course it doesn't help that scaffolding landed in these hoppers. Thank goodness for lossless hoppers. Could have lost that piercing crossbow forever. To test this brand new system, I'm now going to do a test. That's kind of redundant. So, I'm going to drop 3 shulker boxes, 3 water bottles, 3 leather boots, and 6 snowballs into this system. So, let's just drop these in. There we go. In any old order. It should not matter. So now, what should happen is the snowballs, I don't believe I have sorters specifically for snowballs, but if I do, they'll go right here. And otherwise they would go in here. The 3 leather boots would show up right in this unstackable chest. The water bottles should appear right here, and the shulker boxes should appear right here. So here we go. Let's just wait and see what happens. Okay, time to do the check. So, the amount of snowballs we have is 6. That's how many I threw in. The number of unstackable leather boots is 1. I waited a good 5 minutes. Okay, that's a bit weird. Let's see. The amount of water bottles is 2. That's weird. I wonder how many shulker boxes we have. 1. There's leather boots. There's 2. And there's the water bottle. And there's 3. That is weird. This is so strange. So in the unstackable items, I got 3 leather boots and a stone slab, which is what I used as a stackable, unsortable item. The other 2 smooth stone slabs are missing. And then over here, we have, with the water bottles, I got 2 water bottles. And so we're missing a 3rd water bottle. And over here, we got 2 shulker boxes, a water bottle. That's actually 3 shulker boxes. And the other 2 stone slabs. What in the world? So somehow these smooth stone slabs are being treated as unstackable items, which makes no sense. So yeah, this is not exactly a perfect system. I'm thinking maybe just ripping out the entire unstackable item sorter, like the sorter between the water bottles and shulker boxes, since it's completely unreliable, and just dealing with it, just keeping the unstackable item sorter, and we'll just deal with it as it comes. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this design for the unstackable item sorter... Wait a minute. I think I know what the issue was. Let's just stick a hopper to the side. No, actually, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to do anything. So, I forgot to mention, this design for an unstackable item sorter actually came from the Minecraft Wiki. So, pretty cool. And the specific Minecraft Wiki article is in the description. It's tutorial/hopper. Okay, so that part of the project turned out to be not so successful. But here we go. We have a delagified bulk storage room, at least mostly delagified. So now it's time to take care of the remaining lag in the mansion, which it's mostly animals that are causing the issues, causing these lag issues from the mansion. So it's time that we disable most of these animal farms. And I think we should start with the chicken farm, because, well, the chicken farm is broken completely, and yet it's still producing eggs. Like, it went from producing chicken and feathers to producing eggs. So it's looks like I can't use these ladder trapdoor things anymore. It's time that we disable this chicken farm because Johnny the Vindicator is apparently unable to do his job. Okay, my nerves have been frayed for too long. The chicken farm is broken, and there are way too many chickens in here. So, time for most of them to die. Because, seriously, I am sick of it. There are way too many eggs produced, and just, we need to seriously scale down the chicken farm. In fact, you know what? Burn them all. Burn them all. Come on, where's the sweeping edge? There we go. Okay. The chicken farm has now been disabled, mostly. So let's just collect some eggs, so that at least we can get one chicken to maybe produce, yeah, just 2 stacks of eggs. That's it. So that maybe we can re-enable the chicken farm afterwards. So now comes the more difficult part, is killing all these chickens without killing Johnny the Vindicator, or Johnny the Vindicator killing us. So, and also making sure the chickens don't escape. That is a sight to see. A circle of chickens. Screenshot. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of this circle of chickens. Because it seems even entity cramming is not enough to take care of these guys. Seriously. There are too many chickens here. Whoa. Okay. Kill the chickens. Disable the chicken farm. Because also, the chicken farm is mostly unnecessary now that I'm not really doing much villager trading. Oh boy, that's a lot of XP. And there we go. The remaining chickens I just handled with the piercing crossbow. You too, baby chicken. I can pull a Thanos here. I'm sorry, little one. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Chicken farm has now been disabled. Finally. Okay. And already I can feel the improvement in the lag. I mean, seriously. I can actually move my camera around this area. Okay. Let's make this chicken farm work again. Alright, now on top of scaffolding, right above a Johnny Vindicator. What could possibly go wrong? So, here I did some testing in the testing world, and turns out the only way to make the chicken farm work is if the baby chickens spawn on top of enchanting tables. And yeah, that was quite expensive. But even with enchanting tables, you can't guarantee that it won't jam up like it did. So essentially, Johnny the Vindicator here is actually running the chicken farm. There's no lava, no nothing. It's pretty much a natural cause kind of chicken farm. So yeah, I'm only gonna have, I'm thinking just having one chicken to actually lay eggs. That's it. And just make sure he's actually in the cell, so he doesn't go trying to escape. There we go. So we have one chicken in the cell. Only one chicken to lay eggs. That's it. And this way, the chicken farm is massively scaled down, so at least it can last a little while before it jams up again. And it probably won't jam up ever again, because with the enchanting, because one chicken cannot lay eggs quickly enough to jam up. So there we go. Johnny, you may now go back to work. Okay, I'm gonna leave you to your business. Go shop a new axe or something. So this is actually one of the super ancient contraptions that has now been fixed, and hopefully I should stop seeing eggs appearing in the bulk storage room, because seriously, I've had it with eggs. And check out the lag improvement. So now we're getting 9 FPS, 20 FPS, and even looking in this direction, we're getting still 5 and 4. You know what? Let's disable the other animal farms, or at least scale them down. Okay, the solution for scaling down the cow farm is unfortunately to kill most of these cows. And it actually makes me quite sad because I spent quite a bit of effort in episode 13 moving these cows in. So now to knock down the population such that I can still use the cow farm, I have to take 4 shots with this piercing crossbow. And I'm using a piercing crossbow, not a sweeping edge sword, because sweeping edge would kill every single cow. I don't want to do that. There are still 2 cows in here, which unfortunately means the cow farm is seriously scaled down. But you know what? I don't have a use for beef. Not as much as I used to. And really, again, I don't do much trading with villagers, so there's not much of a use for beef. Next up, the pig farm. And also the sheep farm. And also the wool farm, because the wool farm is actually causing quite a bit of lag as well. 5 shots to the sheep farm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uh-oh. That totally disabled the sheep farm. Oh well, I can get a couple more sheep. There we go. This is the roof of the mansion, not inside the mansion, so totally easy. There we go. The sheep farm has now been scaled way down. Last but not least, the pig farm. There's 1 shot. Oh, come on. That's weird. There's some weird lag going on with crossbows. Uh-oh. I just deactivated the entire pig farm. That was not supposed to happen. And yeah, moving these animals in is actually really easy to do. All I gotta do is just leash 2 of them, and then I build a temporary staircase to go up to the roof of the mansion. Uh-oh. Really the biggest issue is leads, and lag, related to leads. So it seems the lag on this side of the mansion is mainly coming from the wool farm, and the reason why there's so much lag in the wool farm is because of these sheep circles. Yeah, so this wool farm's not exactly working all that great, but I do have enough wool, more than enough wool to do anything that I really want to. So while it was working, it worked fantastically, but now it doesn't, which means it's causing lag for no reason. So let's get rid of that lag. And this, okay, so we have some, it seems mainly these sheep circles are around these ladders. And I guess because sheep can't climb ladders anymore, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. So time to remove these sheep circles. And I'm using an axe instead of a sword because I don't want to accidentally kill this sheep that's sitting there on the side. There we go. Okay, that's 1 sheep circle now removed. I don't need to dig my way into the other side of the sheep farm. So the way the sheep farm used to work is that, essentially, because there's all this grass all over the place, it basically tricks the sheep AI into just moving around in circles. But now it seems the AI is not doing as great of a job at tricking the sheep, so there we go. Let's get most of these sheep taken care of, because they are causing unnecessary lag. There are 48 sheep in the sheep farm. I don't need that many sheep in here. That is significantly better. So now there are far less sheep in the sheep farm, and that is perfect. So I can actually look around here without completely lagging out the game. Let's see if I can actually sleep in the bedroom without... No, there's still a lot of lag here. Okay. I bet it's the villagers. Welcome to the very old and very broken villager breeder. So, this used to work before 1.14, but now there's just a bunch of villagers just standing around not doing anything. And the problem with not doing anything is that they try to do things, but they are unable to. And whenever they try to do things like gossip and go to the workstations and things like that, it causes lag. Therefore, we need to get these villagers out of the villager breeder and into this cell over here. This is specifically a cell for adult villagers before they get sent up to Villager Island, which is right up there. So, I'm planning to move these villagers to the Sky Village, because that's where villagers belong. That's where there's the workstations, they have beds there, they got everything there. So, let's get these villagers out of the breeder, deactivate the breeder, and move them at least into this cell. This will be tricky. Well, that's good to see. It seems the villagers are so excited to get out of the villager breeder that they are unable to go down the water stream that actually helps them escape. So, I'm just going to jump down and help them out. Just going to nudge them in. Okay, maybe it's not that easy. Fishing rod. Works every time. Okay. All I gotta do is hook some of these guys, and then I can... So if I hook some of them, then they'll be able to climb through the water stream, hopefully. Or not. Wow, this is not going to plan. Okay. The issue's resolved. One final villager. Now, seeing his friend's part, go ahead, join your friends. The villager breeder has now been deactivated. So, all of the villagers are now in this one cell, where actually, we're going to deal with them next episode. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please let me know, and I'll see you next video.